an evening edition of Let's Talk About It with The Miz. Let's talk about it. The Giants were atrocious Sunday. It is what it is. It's one loss. A lot of the people that are miserable and very upset with the team over losing for the last decade, they just can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore. The fucking losing is getting to me. So let me ask you a question. So things don't look good, and we knew the Giants probably weren't that good before the season started. Does that mean if you got destroyed in one game by the mediocre Vikings that the season is over? I don't think so. It's one game. I'm not saying this is the 07 Giants where they went 0-2 and gave up 80 points, turned it around and won a Super Bowl. I'm not saying that. I'm not telling you this team's going to go on some crazy run. But I don't care how bad you are. I really don't care how ugly it looks in front of the great players that were on that field. Embarrassing. I don't care how horrible Daniel Jones played a football game. And I don't care how long he's been very average. It's one game. And you cannot throw the season away and have the coach and the GM fired already after week one. That's just stupidity. That's passion, that's emotion, that's anger, right? That's how we feel. You watch the Giants game these days, and it's not like the old days. You couldn't sleep that night when the Giants lost. It bothered you so much, you had sweat coming out of your pores, right? Late in the fourth quarters, we don't have that anymore. The game could be over middle of the third quarter, and you've accepted it. And by the time the clock ran out, you're not angry, you're not upset. You kind of moved on. That's not a good thing. That's a sad thing. And when a man sticks a mic, and we all know what the media in this country likes to do, and we all know what the media in New York City likes to do. They're like the lying piece of shit media capital of the country. And they stick a mic in Kayvon's face right after a bad loss. And a half-hour shower doesn't really change your feelings. Anyone who's played football, anybody out there who's an alpha, understands that shit irks you for much longer than a half hour. And you stick the fucking mic into somebody's face right after a humiliating loss where you, as a star edge, did nothing in front of the great Lawrence Taylor, Carl Banks, and many other greats on the 100-year anniversary of a season opener in front of 90,000. You are a non-factor, and you got embarrassed by a Vikings team that is not better than you. Okay? Many believe you're in the same category, right? And the man shoves a mic in your face and asks you stupid questions. And the fans are supposed to be angry. You guys are angry that Kayvon didn't want to answer? That he said that anyone else has a question for me? Dude, these guys are human. They're not fucking iron. They're not made out of robot. These are humans. There's emotions involved. And if you think it doesn't bother them to lose, have expectations for opening day in front of all the greats, the 100-year ceremony, the owner's family on the field, and you don't think Bill Parcells in the building, Lawrence Taylor, you don't think it bothers them to lose this game? You think because Kayvon was so angry that he couldn't answer that guy's question that he purposely was being a baby? He has to step up and be a leader. We expect him to be a leader, yes. But yo, for a second, just think yourself of how he feels inside after that humiliating game and him knowing that he did not come up big in that game. He did not even show up to that game. He tried, but he was shut down, and it happens. that shit's gonna happen in sports. You can't be great every moment of every game. And the fans, they're angry at Kayvon. They're angry because you didn't answer it like a professional. Yo, sometimes you're an athlete. Sometimes you're a competitor. The fire's burning inside. You're not always thinking professional. That man's worked hard for 3 years. He's been a good player. We expect more. Maybe there will be more. Don't be just fucking turning your back on him. You see, this is the problem with this fan base. The same idiotic fans who believe that this guy owes us professionalism, right? Is the same goddamn clowns that are waiting 2 hours after a game that was probably over at halftime so that they could hackle Daniel Jones and talk about, hey, Jones, can I get $1 million? You suck. Can I get $1 million? You're garbage. Can I have $1 million? The same idiots who wanted to tape Daniel Jones while they were annoying the shit out of him coming out to the parking lot 2 hours after a football game, supposed to be his fans, so that they could get some clout or a sexy video on YouTube or TMZ or whatever the bullshit is, right? That's the same fans that has expectations from Kayvon to show them professional and class. Bro, let me tell you something, brothers. This fucking fan base has become a circus. You lost your class. Once a proud blue classy nation has turned into a fucking garbage dumpster. The fan base is garbage as much as the team has become one. So when you put down the team, you want to boo because you paid a lot of money to come to the game and the Giants are not living up to anywhere near, and it's been years of this, you have a right to boo. But when you start waiting in the parking lot to taunt your quarterback, yo, how come you didn't wait in the parking lot to taunt Kayvon or Brian Burns? How come nobody waited for them? How come nobody waited to say something to Dexter? Yeah, Dexter played great, but why don't you say something to them? Because you know the consequences could be deadly, right? But you wait for Daniel Jones, who you know is a class act. You look at him like he's a quiet boy, he's a nice guy. Never mind that if Daniel Jones wanted to reach over the fence, he'd probably lump your face up, right? But no, he's the quarterback, and you know he... So what do? The guy who carries himself professionally and with class, regardless of how his play has been on the field, you guys wait after the game to take advantage of him. But then you turn around and you're angry at Kayvon for not acting the same way that Daniel Jones does. You see, the double standard, the fucking clowniness in this fan base is ridiculous. I call you out to your face, motherfuckers. You are a circus of a fan base. A once proud, classy, one of the best fan bases on the planet, unmatched in this country, has turned into a young generation circus with a bunch of red fucking clown noses and purple hair. That's what you are. That's the way you behave. The way you turn your back on your team. You got no loyalty. And I'm going to tell you what. Keep behaving the way you behave. Keep writing shit on social media. Keep tormenting these players on the radio stations. Keep making jokes and pissing players off on the front page of the newspaper. Make a joke out of these players, out of this team after one game. Then you want to know why the players don't come here. Then you want to know why the players don't bust their asses sometimes. Then you want to know why the players get down so early in games. Then you want to know why these players don't feel support anymore. Have they earned it through winning? No, they haven't. Although they did win a playoff game just a season and a half ago. But you want to know why we've become a laughing stock. And you want to say it's because the team don't play good, they're garbage, and our quarterback is the biggest joke in the league. Well, what do you think the players think about us? This fan base that's been divided and talks shit and writes nonsense and talks nonsense and doesn't allow any growth and doesn't stand by their team anymore. What do you think the country thinks about that? Because right now, this fan base has become an entire ass. The Jet fans that used to be the century joke of the league has become a classier fan base, a tighter-knit fan base, a support their team fan base more than the Giants. I never thought I'd see that in a fucking lifetime. So I sit here tonight and I gotta wonder to myself, I can't wait for Sunday. Even after what happened last Sunday, true diehard fan will be sitting right there, half hour before the game, and on my mind is that the Giants are gonna go win a football game in Washington. Why? Because I'm a true fan and I back the team up. And Daniel Jones is the quarterback of the New York Football Giants right now, whether any of you like it or I know everyone hates it. But he's the man that's going out on the field Sunday. I don't have a problem with the anger you have towards this team. The disappointment, that's the real word. The disappointment we have as a true fan base. The yearn we have for some real winning football again. For New York football, Big Blue Giants winning football. Punch you in the mouth, old school, blue-collar Giants football. We're dying to get back to just a piece of that, a taste of it. But this fan base needs to check itself. You are not helping these young kids on this team grow. You are not helping this coaching staff put together game plans to get these players to play hard. You are not helping this fucking Giants team with the way you are coming down on them and treating them. And it's more in the media, it's more on the radio stations, it's more on Twitter and social media than actually at the stadium. And you're at the stadium, there's going to be cheers, there's going to be boos, it's part of the game and the players know that. It's all the other shit that's going on outside of it. Like when fucking clowns stay 2 hours after the game waiting for Daniel Jones to come out so that they could talk about his money and diss him and talk shit to him, knowing that he is a class act. His characters is that he's not going to reach over the fence and put a hole in your jaw like some other players would. And you know what I call that? A punk clown. You're a punk clown, brother. And you would never bring that shit to a guy like me. But you'll take it to the guy you know that is a class act and won't do anything back. But then at the same token, you're mad at Kayvon for coming at the media in a whole nother way. Ain't that fucking funny? You know what that's called? A hypocrite. And that's what this fan has turned into. This fan base, not all, but there's a loud, small chunk of this fan base that has a big fucking mouth and doesn't have a clue what it takes to play a football game on a gridiron, or what it takes to put together a winning season, or even to think of a championship. You're not helping. And I gotta wonder about some of these fans. Do you really want to become a winner again? Or do you actually started loving losing? You gotta ask yourself that question. It's disappointing how the Giants are playing. But the Giants are disappointed in how their fans are fanning. Miz, talk about it.